The Ghana Armed Forces must be a force of excellence, integrity, opportunity, and national integration. Unfortunately, this has not always been the case. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share the story of enlistment fraud with the general public. This story shows us that while we fight non-military perpetrators of enlistment and recruitment fraud, we must also pay attention to their few collaborators, and I must say few collaborators within the Ghana Armed Forces. When I assumed office as Minister for Defense, I instituted an inquiry into the enlistment of would-be officers. 452 Ghana Military Academy hopefuls were investigated. Sadly, the outcome of the investigation and audit conducted by the Ghana Armed Forces into enlistment into the Ghana Military Academy for the regular career course 64 and 65 and short service course intake 62 revealed that 210 out of 452, 46%, did not meet the eligibility test. For the regular career course 64, who are currently in training, the audit pointed to some 34 trainees who sidestepped one or more of the stages of the enlistment processes. Ladies and gentlemen, it was difficult sending them home since they had been in training for almost 1 year, 12 months. Sending 34 well-trained, energetic youth who had endured military training home in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous West African sub-region with free-floating weapons and ammunitions can have severe consequences. So, they have been directed to fulfill all criteria. That's the 34. However, if they fail to meet these requirements, they will be released from training. Regarding adversely affected persons in regular career course 65 and short service course 62 who are yet to report for training, they have since been directed to discontinue their participation in the enlistment process. This means 115 regular and 75 short service personnel have been cleared to report for training in due course to join the RCC 64 intake, who we basically pardoned 34 of them, but still asked them to right the wrongs. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to report at this stage that the last recruitment exercise for soldiers, non-officers, so the soldiers go to the Army recruit training schools and the various training schools, the officers will go to the Ghana Military Academy. So I'm done with the officer career. I'm now moving to the soldiers. It is important to report, let me repeat, at this stage, that the last recruitment exercise for soldiers, non-officers, was conducted in October 2021. However, the audit has revealed that 2,872 Army potential recruits who successfully completed all required processes, including documentation, medical examinations, and vetting, are yet to undergo training. Meanwhile, my visit to the Army Recruits Training School just last week disclosed the fact that the Army Recruit Training School has not been training recruits over the past 17 months. With the potential capacity for the Army Recruits Training School to train between 900 and 1,500 recruits every 6 months, a maximum of 3,000 every year, we wonder why the past administration allowed the situation of the 2,872 Army potential recruits to crystallize. Knowing that even healthy people die during military training, how can we, rely on laboratory tests conducted years ago or over 6 months ago to recruit? How can we rely on body selection and fitness tests conducted years ago to inform recruitment decision now? Additionally, with the passage of time, many have exceeded the age limit. Keep in mind that the military is a profession and a vocation that entreats would-be trainees to abandon all hopes of normal life and imposes the doctrine of struggling is acceptable, dropping is acceptable, bleeding is acceptable, tears are acceptable, pain is acceptable, but quitting is unacceptable. This means once you enter, you can struggle, drop, bleed, shed liters of tears, suffer excruciating and unbearable pain, but in all these, quitting will not be entertained. Considering all these significant factors, it has been decided that a new recruitment process will be conducted. I wish to emphasize that there were over 2,000 potential recruits who could not undergo training under the previous administration, even though vacancies existed at the Army Recruit Training School, are strongly encouraged to reapply, provided they still meet all the established criteria. I urge those who will not qualify at this stage not to lose hope. Be of good cheer, because within the 24-hour economy, other employment opportunities are being created. I'm excited to announce that, as has been communicated by the Commander-in-Chief, a comprehensive enlistment and recruitment exercise is to be undertaken with a view to increasing the manpower strength of the Ghana Armed Forces. Altogether, we are enlisting and recruiting 12,000 personnel within the next 3.5 years. Looking at the needs of the Ghana Armed Forces, and in particular the desire to build institutional capacity to support the ongoing drive towards industrialization and food security, future enlistment and recruitment exercises will also be targeting specific qualifications such as agric extension officers, artisans, engineers. You engage them at your own risk. Report them to lawful authority. Joining the Ghana Armed Forces under President Mahama will be based solely on merit, not money.